Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back. We back. Uh, we. My bad. I'm sitting here fucking up already. We back with another show. If y'all don't mind, if y'all can hear both of us, let us know in the chat. Welcome back to the Who You Talking To show. I am Olehead Rell from the To Be Fair show. I'm here with my illustrious co-host, the Glizzy Gobbler himself, Mr. Vote Blue, no matter who. Olehead Senior. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's
Good,
been a
good.
crazy weekend, but
Crazy
you got
weekend.
done. Yeah, you had them, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, and I'm gonna open up. We this show here, and we get a lot of comments when we do like the shorts. We get a lot of comments from like women saying they're like, "Men, this is the reason men shouldn't have podcasts," and it's like they feel bashed. And I just want to open up, and I'm gonna start opening it up with this: is that like we gonna give Tyrone and Kwee hell, or if they deserve flowers on either side, we're gonna give them flowers too. This ain't like a female bashing show. This is a really more than anything. It's a father son building show. But then we also talk about relationships a good bit, as we naturally like to talk about them. But we gonna give them hell on both sides. So we also would say, men, don't move in. Any man that we know that moved in done been put out before. Ask one. All right, we'll hop right into it. Right into it. Oh, so how was your week, man?
Uh, I can't say it was a bad week or nothing like that. It's just wasn't nothing that stands out, for as work week go, nothing that stand out that I would care to talk about. It was just another normal week, a
Mm.
lot of rain, not so much work, but you know,
True, true, true. It was definitely a lot of rain this week in the city.
yeah.
Definitely was a lot of rain in the city. So this episode is called oh, actually let me honestly, man, I've been going through, I don't know if anybody in the that's watching that has, like, you know what I mean, been diagnosed or will say that they have mental problems with mental health. I know that I do. You know what I mean? I done been through therapy. I done had group sessions, in the individual sessions, and here lately, man, I've been going through. I don't know what it is. It's like I feel overwhelmed, and for me, when I start to feel overwhelmed, I tend to like lash out, right? Unknowingly, like unexpectedly, not necessarily lashing out, nothing physical, but I end up saying what's on my mind at the drop of a hat very easily. And the thing about that is that when you do that, that causes more problems. You see what I'm saying? Because as you're sitting here overwhelmed already, then you're releasing these things, and it's not in a healthy way. We'll admit it's not in a healthy way. But then as you're releasing these things unhealthily, you fuck around and make things worse. You see what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear you. But sometimes when you release things under stress, it be things that you need to air out anyway. You just
True.
haven't you just haven't figured out how to do it tactfully. So when you get stressed out, then you just release it and it comes out with however it come out. And depending on who you talking to and what the topic is, that wasn't a punt anyway.
Mm.
But like I say, depending on who you're talking to and what the topic is, even though it may come out harshly or not in the most tactful way, um, they can accept the truth in what you said. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And they can respect the fact that um, you needed to get that off. Because sometimes, even when you get
do they
something
though?
off the wrong way, it still gives you, as the person that got it off, a release because it's out there now.
Hmm.
So you have to give people grace even in their mistakes.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with shoot. You mess around and do that with your old lady, you got some shit on your hands. You can fuck the whole house up for however long it take for her to get over that shit. You can do some damage in certain relationships. Absolutely, like there's you put it out there, and if y'all have an understanding and a love for each other in a way to where it's like no matter what you say, I'm still gonna love you, and you know what I mean. Then I think that there's a lot more grace there, but like shoot, you can mess your house up pretty tough. And then
Yeah, but see, you dealing with a woman. When
mhm,
you dealing with a man, the delivery, like I said, might not be the most tactful or whatever, but when you do that with a man, then they have to reflect. As a man, we reflect and see, where we can see these things that you're talking about and if they're valid. You know what I'm saying? If you can see the validity in it, you know what I'm saying? And so, even though it might sting when they receive it the way you send it to them, even though it might sting, they still, the wheels start turning and they try to understand where that came from and if there's validity to it. And if they see the validity to it, then they brush it off as far as your delivery.
You're talking about accountability.
Yeah.
You're talking about finding yourself, you know what I mean? That's another thing. If a lot of the time what you will see is that like how women have reacted to Kevin Samuels, for example. They would say that like he's not saying, it's not necessarily that he's wrong, it's his delivery.
Yeah.
And I think, I believe this too. I think it's different when you're talking to women. You have to use much more tact when you're talking to women than when you're talking to men. Because we generally like me too. I'm big on accountability. I'm really big on accountability. And so I think that we do kind of internalize those things differently. And I guess we might as well address the elephant in the room because it's actually a part of the titling that I put up. I was talking about Johnson discipline or Wick discipline as it reads on the what you call it. And so I was bringing that up because I actually I think I brought that up last night when I went off or whatever and was talking about like the idea of the level of prioritization and where as a child, you can see where your parents how your parents prioritize. And so if you find that you are low on the list, then that is something that you will forever remember. And when I was younger, this is a thing that I dealt with. You know what I mean? With as far as our relationship went. I would always, and this, I know you're married now. We're not talking about now, we're talking about when I was younger. There was always a feeling of lack of being a priority. Right. And so like and this is the thing. I think that this is bigger than just us having this conversation. That's why I put it on there. I think that it's something that everybody should think about, especially every parent should think about, or someone that's looking to be a parent, is that even biblically, your children don't come before your wife, right? Or your husband. Your children don't come before your marriage. But outside of marriage, I believe that the children are most important, right? And so boyfriend, girlfriend, especially like somebody that ain't even like that, you know what I mean, should never be placed above that responsibility.
I can agree to that.
And I think that like a lot of people, I know I had a partner when I was in the military. He talked to me about like how his mom chose a guy over them. You know what I mean? And what that did to him, he pretty much he don't care nothing about his mom. He don't care for her. You know what I mean? He wasn't looking to. I tried to tell him like, forgiving and you know what I mean? Try to talk him into like everybody needs to be forgiven and you know what I mean, make y'all have the conversation and to make it right. Bro wasn't trying to hear it at all. And as a matter of fact, there's actually a meme. We're gonna try something. We're gonna go back to something old. There was a meme that I was wanting to play. And we're gonna let everybody see it as well. Make sure y'all can see it. Let me know. We're gonna do that. Then we're gonna bring that to the stage. And the meme, it kind of goes directly to what I was just talking about. And let's see.
Cutting off the parents, but there's one thing I've noticed about this trend. Has anybody else noticed that when an adult child chooses not to have a relationship with a parent, it's always, but it's your mom and dad. You only get one mom and dad. Why are you doing that? And it's never, wow, what could a parent have done to cause their child to make this decision, but feel like it was the right one? It's never, what happened that made a grown adult feel like the need to walk away from the people who raised them? And it's definitely never, but they're your children. How can you treat them that way? Why is the weight placed on the child? Why is the burden of maintaining peace, preserving connection, and forgiving endlessly dumped onto the very person who's probably carrying the scars? No one ever stops to think maybe that parent wasn't a safe person. Maybe the parent was emotionally manipulative, abusive, dismissive, narcissistic, or just constantly absent when it mattered most. Maybe parent was just a title and not something they lived up to. And yet the child is the one questioned. The child is the one who's guilted, shamed, or gaslit. There's this automatic defense of the parent as if the role of parent comes with some lifetime immunity from accountability. But here's the truth. People don't cut off their parents typically for no reason. It's not impulsive. It's not heartless. It's usually the last result after years of trying, years of hoping things would change, years of therapy, tears, inner conflict. It's often deep, painful act of self-preservation. And yet society keeps asking the wrong question. Instead of why did you walk away, maybe it's time to start asking what happened that made staying impossible. There's an increase in the number of people cutting off their parents, but there's one thing I've noticed about this trend. Has anybody else noticed that when
Yeah. So what do you think about that? You were able to follow him, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Like that idea of pretty much like
I understand exactly what he's talking about. And I can't speak for every parent, but I can speak for me.
Mhm.
You know, in the conversation, since we're dealing with the elephant in the room, in the conversation, you said you can't throw money at everything.
Mhm.
That's what you told me. You can't throw money at everything. But if you do, I don't have the luxury that you have.
Which
And that is that you waited till you was a grown man
Mhm.
before you had your first child. I had children when I was a teenager.
Mhm.
I became a father at 17. Okay. So if I was a father at 17, then by the time I turned 25, you was 8 years old,
Mm.
7 years old. Okay. So that means that by the time I was 30, you was 22,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
Okay. So if what did I say? 22. That's
Mhm.
some fucked up math. You heard what I
Yeah,
said?
yeah, I just let you go, but go ahead.
Yeah.
The math ain't as important. I understand
Yeah.
the point that you're trying to make, but just go
Yeah.
ahead.
So you was 12.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, at 30 years old, you 12, you already dealing with the fact that I show up, I throw bread, and then I'm gone. Or if I do take you somewhere with me or whatever, you at somebody's house while I'm being entertained or whatever the case may be, or doing my grown folk thing or whatever, and you feel that, yeah, I'm here, but I'm not with you.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I basically just drop you off at somebody's house with other people, with other children, and we go run off.
Right.
But the thing that I think that's somewhat overlooked, even though still it's my fault. I'm not trying to say that this is not
Right.
my fault. But what I'm trying to say is I was a kid with children. I was a young adult with teenagers. And like you say, that frontal doesn't develop, hadn't developed fully at that
25 to
time.
28.
That just not getting developed. Yeah, just not getting developed. And you already a teenager. So you already harboring these feelings. And you were a quiet child.
Mhm.
You didn't voice your opinion. You might say something. You say it one time subtly, and you don't say it like this is a thing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You didn't do
Yeah.
that. You didn't say it like it was a thing. So if you just say something, sometimes it's how you say it as to what the results of what you said thing is.
Understood.
You know what I'm saying? Because me personally, I wanted to be there, but I had problems. So it was hard for me to keep a family structure together because of my problem. And I ain't trying to blame nobody, but every man in my life had the same situation. So therefore, I was doing what the men was doing around me. I wasn't trying to neglect my children. When your mom calls, she says she need money. I go over there and do this,
Mhm.
and then I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Every blue moon, I might take you with me, but at the same time, I was still living my life as a young adult and doing what I'm doing, not thinking, not intentional, not thinking that that's hurting you. and you feel the way you feel. I mean, I can't read minds, and then it ain't no book, and I don't know. I don't have a from at that time and pretty much up until now, other than you, I didn't have an example. I didn't have an example. I didn't see that in no household that I was around.
Okay, and so and I knew that you were going to say that, and so I actually found another. It's not a meme; it's just a picture, but I'll read it. And let me just post. Let me show them this. If I know how to work this, John. No, not remove. Should be present. It's already there.
And while you're doing whatever it is you're doing, we don't, as parents, even though we're young, we don't intentionally do these things to make y'all feel a way. We don't even know you feel a way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I grew up the same way. My daddy came over and shot bread and he bounced. But the difference is when I was old enough, he took me to work with him and learned and taught me a trade.
Mm-hmm.
He taught me a lot of different trades because he did a lot of different things. So I got my time like that. Yeah. But at the same time, my dad was very, very negative when it came to me.
Mm.
I think now people, wait a minute, people that knew my dad and knew me said, "Oh, your daddy love you. Your daddy love you." But I ain't never heard him say it.
Did you feel like he did? He did? You didn't feel like he did?
No, I ain't gonna.
I'm talking about outside of the words, because you're man. The words are one thing, but like, did you feel it? Did you feel that he loved you versus the verbalization of it?
I felt like, to be perfectly honest, I felt like that my dad was happy when I bust my ass and I did said thing, whatever that said thing was, and I did it good. Past good. Perfect. I did it damn near perfect. Yeah. I did an excellent job at whatever the task was. Mm-hmm. That's the only time my daddy ever praised me at all, ever, when I was working. That's why people say, stuff like, your dad, Jesse, he'll work, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. He can do this, he can do that, because that was the only time my daddy had anything positive that I heard to say about me is when I was working. When I could do this and I could do that and I could do this. But as far, I can't even tell you one time that my daddy hugged me.
Damn.
I can't tell you one time we walked together and had a conversation. So I didn't have an example, and I lived through that. And you know the story. I lived with my mom and two girls. Mm-hmm. My mom and my sister was like two with like 3 peas in a pod. Mm-hmm. They all everything. They knew everything. It was just me.
Yeah. So what was that back then? It was pretty much the moms felt that they would rear the daughters, and the man, if he was around, he was supposed to teach the son how to be a man. And
but if he not there, then
if
what?
He ain't doing it, then yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that's where I grew up. I grew up with nobody. Mm-hmm. That's the way I felt. I ain't have nobody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The girls always got stuff. Mama said, "Oh, sister made it," which is my daddy's sister. We called her sister. Mm-hmm. Sister made that for him or whatever. She ain't made that stuff with them tags inside of them, though. Mm. She ain't made them. She ain't made no Levi's. She ain't made no leather coat.
So you felt that, or you were being left out of like
everything. It was just me. Mm-hmm. Bro, I spent more time either under the bed or between the mattresses
That's
than
crazy
anybody.
That you did that. That's fucking crazy, because, nigga, I don't know where it came. I hope my mom watching this, nigga, and my sister and brother, they knew of me to get under the bed.
Under the bed,
I was a nigga like
between the mattresses.
That's crazy, and I've been between the mattresses before too.
And went to sleep.
Went to sleep.
That's right.
I don't went to sleep in the closet.
Hey,
I know what you're talking about. And see, the thing was, that's crazy. This is the first time you ever saying this to me, and I literally did these things. That's crazy as fuck.
That's what I'm telling you. I grew up the same way. The same shit. I didn't grow up that
way. I don't know why, honestly, and to this day, like.
But your mom wasn't like my mom.
For sure.
She wasn't like my mom.
For sure. I don't like.
So you guys, you know what I mean?
But see, the thing is that what I think is that there's also a diagnosis that's missing there too. You know what I mean? I got diagnosis and shit, That then there damn sure wasn't no mental health conversations when you was growing up.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? Mom Dukes did bring in she did bring a therapist home one time. I remember we was living in Ravenwood. And that's the hood. You know what I mean? It's crazy to go back there now because it looks the same, but it looks better back when I was younger than it, you know what I mean? Because you in the hood, you don't necessarily, and people talk about the hood differently than the reality of living and growing up in the hood, I believe. But at the same time, she brought the therapist to the house, and I went, the craziest thing, I don't know what it is, I went and got up under the table.
I spent some time up under there too. But
it's crazy.
Now, I got to be honest. I spent my time up under the kitchen table looking up under my mama girlfriend's dresses.
Oh, horn dog shit.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Where you get that
and
shit
they knew I was there. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
And they'll be laughing and talking to my mama, telling her that I was under the table.
Yeah, let's not go too far away because I want to make sure, because you said you're pretty much saying that you were a product of your parents, your fathering, or even your aunts and uncles, the men that you saw, and you were pretty much redoing brothers, the same thing that they did, right?
All of them did the same thing.
Okay,
I did.
and so what I want to do is bring this up right here. Let me go back to it. So essentially, what it says is millennial dads are spending 3 times as much time with their kids than their fathers spent with them. Back in 1982, 43% of fathers admitted they had never changed a diaper. Today, that number is down to about 3%. Yeah. So one thing we're going to go ahead and I brought that up just to say that we already know that my generation is the most single mother generation in history, right? So there weren't even as a matter of fact, most of the guys I know their dads, but their dads just weren't around. And okay, so essentially, could it be that? What do you think causes that? What do you think caused us to be so into our kids and so into the upbringing and caring so much about this? You know what I mean? Comparative to the generation, your generation and the generation prior, because you can see that there was statistically, like this, it's a fact that like we're doing something much better. Then, like I say, 3% of niggas. Now we at 3% that ain't never changed a diaper. How many diapers you done changed? Because I know you never changed none of our diapers.
Probably 1 or 2, maybe.
And that would be with the youngest.
Yeah.
Both of those is with the youngest. So you had what, 4 without changing none. So what do you think the change is? What do you think it comes from? Because like we still had that player culture in our the men were still players. And when I was growing up, the men was you were my dad. You know what I mean? I ain't see a lot. I saw enough to know how you was moving. What do you think is the difference between, where's that generational divide? What is the difference between what we're doing, or why are we doing what we're doing versus why are we all doing what y'all are doing?
Because if you notice, every generation picks up things faster. They become more aware of certain things earlier. Like when I was a kid, you actually was a kid till you wasn't a kid no more. You know, you actually got to be a kid.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Like y'all, this internet, technology, and all of that stuff, it makes y'all grow up so much faster. And the thing about that is when you grow up fast like that, you have privy to information that we didn't have privy to, what we're not privy to at that time, and it makes you mature faster. And what I'm saying is, because we didn't have no kind of like you said, we didn't have no kind of therapy. We didn't have no kind of nobody that actually talked to us and try to understand and help us understand why we feeling the way we feeling and try to give us coping mechanisms. But you can go online. You can go online and see different things depending on what type of person you are. You can go online and you can even look at TV and you can see these relationships and you can see how they affect different people in different situations. And you can say, okay, I'm going to do better. And then when you wait till when you wait till you are actually a grown man with a wife or a significant other and decide when to have your children, you've already developed to a point where when we was making children, we didn't have nothing. We didn't know nothing. All we knew is that you stick it in a hole and you pump and it feels good. and then the results is you. That's what we knew. So, and that's what everybody did around us. So y'all privy to more information. So y'all develop it, whether you think it's true or not, y'all develop a lot faster. And you were able to be a child with you making a decision or not making the mistake of having kids while you were young. You was able to live out your childhood. You was able to do dumb shit and it not affect your life.
No effect.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I couldn't. I was paying child support
at 17.
I was paying child support at probably about between 18 and 19. I was paying child support. Wasn't paying it. I was getting behind like a motherfucker. I was owing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the difference is you chose a different route. And maybe because of the things you went through, it helped you. Our relationship being bad, one of them, made you not even want children. You didn't even want children.
No. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll with that.
Yeah, you didn't even want children. And you don't know exactly why you didn't want children. You just know you didn't want children because you didn't want to deal with.
No, I know why I didn't.
Okay. Well, so tell me, why didn't you want children?
I convinced myself that I didn't want children because where I was in my marriage didn't have the strength that I wanted it to have in order for me, because I got married at 21.
What do you think? What do you think about your marriage not having strength made you not want to have children though?
What it was that like it was the sustainability. Like I didn't want to not live with my kids. Like the biggest thing for me was that like if I had kids,
that came
we
from
go
me.
Be together. Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
That's my point.
For sure.
You waited.
I wasn't disagreeing. I just said that you said that I didn't know why I didn't want to. But I'm telling you that I did know, and it was because I wasn't in the position. My marriage wasn't in the place where I felt comfortable doing it. So I literally like convinced myself. We got married young. I didn't know how to be a husband. My wife will admit that she was learning to be. We both were learning to be a husband and wife because we got married so young. And it was just when you get married young like that, it is very fucking volatile. It ain't necessarily gonna be like
you don't even gotta be married. It could just be a relationship.
Oh yeah. But see, the thing about marriage is once you it takes a lot more to separate or to do away with the thing.
I understand.
And so like a lot of time when you see people get married that young, they'll fuck around and be married for years, been separated but still married because of the fact that it takes so much more to do away with the relationship. And so like we just weren't in a place back then when I was 22, 23. Didn't make sense. The fucking relationship was not stable enough for me to feel confident that I want to raise some kids up in this shit.
Yeah.
This don't make no sense. I literally like mind fuck myself. It's crazy, but like, yeah, I mind fuck myself and was like, bro, I don't even want kids. And I had convinced myself of that. But anybody that knows me when I was younger, I always loved kids. Kids loved me. I was one of the guys that like, because of the way I play with kids. I always been a playful with kids. You know what I mean? Throwing them in the air and you know what I mean? Paying attention. Like Aquan used to come and want to stay with me for the summer and you know what I mean? That type of thing. So I was always good with children.
Yeah.
And I convinced myself still because of my situation that I didn't want kids. And that's to answer your question. That's why it was that I was saying that during that time period. It just wasn't sustainable. It was you know what I mean? Everything was everywhere.
Because you didn't want to be like me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get you to get to.
Oh yeah.
You didn't want to be like me. You didn't want to be me in your child's life.
No, for sure.
Okay.
Unc said, "What up? What up?
What's up, Unc?"
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, my point was, you had a chance to grow and feel comfortable and stable enough to say, "Okay, now." I'll do this.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I was running around here. The same thing you was doing when you was 22, running around here fucking up, almost going to fucking jail, all that shit. When you was doing, that's the shit I was doing, except for I didn't do a lot of it because my daddy had my ass working from sun up to sundown 7 days a fucking week. So I didn't get into a lot of trouble because I done lost girlfriends because they said that I wasn't, I ain't have enough time for them. This one girl, I really liked her. Her nickname was Wobbly. I really liked her. And
you could just infer when you hear the name Wobbly, you could just infer what the fuck that meant. I mean, she was thick.
No, okay. That was just a kid. Her parents called her that
when she was
when she was little.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a nickname. That's why I said it was her nickname. Her name was Wobbly, and I really liked her. That's another story. But anyway, she told me she broke up with me. She was good. I mean, to me, she was a good person because she came to me and told me that this dude liked her, and this nigga lived in South Carolina. He had to be a fucking Tyrone, though, because how the fuck can you come from South Carolina and spend more time with her than I can spend with her, and I live across town?
Yeah, well, I mean, at the same time, if you're working
because
6-7 days a week, then he still got more, even if he getting 2 days off a week.
Yeah, but we was young kids at that time. We was young.
Oh, okay.
Nigga, we ain't have cars and shit.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
you know what I mean? We ain't have no cars and shit. So you can come from South Carolina and come and spend more time with her than I can spend with her. Then where you work at, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
what are you doing
like that? Then it's not necessary that you work at certain ages. You just started working earlier.
I started working earlier, but I'm talking about when I was talking to Wobbly, if I'm not mistaken, I was like 18.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I was like 18. You know what I'm saying? So she broke up with me because he could come and spend more time with her than I could. And like I say, so I didn't really get into a lot of trouble because I was at work all the time. And I got very good at it. The job. I got very good at it. Hell, you're going to get good at something that you spend from sun up to sundown 7 days a week doing it. You're going to get pretty good at it. But that's all my daddy, he gave me a trade. He gave me what he could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I remember when my pops passed, I was like, he didn't leave me nothing. Because his wife took everything. And so I said he didn't leave me nothing, but he did. He left me a lot, and I still use it to the day. So he left me what he could, and he left me something that was valuable.
Nigga, you tell me I was the one to point that out to you.
Yeah.
A couple years,
so
about a year or so ago.
Yeah. So I was hung up on that thing. You know what I mean? Because I always felt like it was just me, and then it was my mom and my sisters, and then I ain't had nobody, especially when my dad died. But even when I was even younger, because he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's and so I understand your pain. And I love you, and I don't want you to feel that. And, I'll do my best to try to, figure something out the way it makes sense for you and me. But at the same time, you can't hold me to the standard that you hold yourself to, because of the simple fact I didn't have that. I don't have nothing to pull from. I can't even look at on the internet like y'all can today and look at all these relationships and what happened and this is internet been around for a minute. Y'all grew up with the internet.
Yeah.
Y'all grew up with the internet.
I think like we were prior to, I think that, but the internet came about pretty much. We were definitely using the internet when in high school. High school was where, like, you know what I mean, it really started kicking off. But Unc said we was young. He said we was young news back then, and the neighborhood made us being young niggas. And we did things that was fucked up, but we did the best we could do. I was fortunately to have my day in my life different. I don't know exactly what you mean. Let's see.
He said maybe he was saying his dad. He was fortunate to have his dad in his life.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
Gabriella said, I want to know from a man's perspective, if a dude faithfully paid his child support for 18 years but didn't spend any time whatsoever, is he considered a deadbeat? It's a good question. Well, I would say not deadbeat. not deadbeat, because I would assume deadbeat is the worst, right? Deadbeat is the worst thing you can call a dad.
I would say that.
So that means that he ain't supplying financially, nor is he supplying
Emotionally.
physically, emotionally. He just is completely gone.
Mhm.
That would be what I would say a deadbeat is. But I also, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that a nigga not spending time with his kids is okay. I don't believe that. I believe
I understand that.
weird, man. It's crazy to see how important we are, just because, I mean, the fact that men and women are just so different. And you know, y'all know me, I'm a traditional gender roles kind of guy, so you can hate or love that. But men and women, and I'm not a nigga that want to try to, oh, we're so much the same. No, we're not the same. I don't think that it doesn't make sense.
No,
Without equal, however you want to say, the same, equal, or whatever the fuck. Either way you cut that, I don't believe in that. And our contributions to our children are going to be different. The type of things that like we feel are important to speak into our children are going to be different. Like it's just completely different.
That's just like you with my granddaughter. You know, you don't put emphasis on her saying sir and ma'am and stuff like that. When I came up, you get slapped in the mouth if you didn't say that.
The craziest thing is that when I came up, you could get smacked in the mouth for not saying it. And so this was something that I decided what it was is that I've seen. And that's why, like, I'm the type person, I learn from other parents. I learn from other parents.
Okay, so see that right there. You learn from other parents.
Right.
If the parents that I seen and the parents that I were around, if they was doing the same shit that my daddy was doing and my mama was doing, where's the example?
Yeah, you know, the thing is that what you're pretty much saying is that during that time period, as far as it was related to parenting, the community was fucked up.
It was.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's something that, like, I think that, man, it's a lot of,
when it was a 2-parent household, you could see it like that. You ain't have to ask nobody. You see it like that. Yeah, you could see it like that. It was easy. But my friends, and I didn't have a lot of them because I worked 24. I worked from sun up to sundown 7 days a week. Literally, anybody that know me will tell you that. And so I ain't have time for a girlfriend. You know, I wanted to make time for her, but I ain't have time for no niggas neither. Unless you was one of my dad's employees, and all them was doing the same shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all was fucked up.
Yeah, I'm not saying we wasn't, but I'm saying is that it ain't here. You know what I'm saying? It's here.
Right. No, I get it.
You know, I didn't know no better. I started early, like they did.
And you know, see, but the thing is that what bro was saying in that, and if we go back to the meme, he was talking about as an adults, they're separating themselves from their parents. So it's not only the fact that you did what you were doing then, it's also that there are still some of those traits that linger into your older age as well. That will, those things. See, the thing is, what we have to really be honest about is that seeing those similarities of the person that the things about a person that you hated years ago, seeing them as an adult, it's, you know what I mean, that those are the things, you know what I mean, that really cut. Because, like, you could say, you know what I mean, our relationship with, let's say we forgave this and forgave that and we're moving forward, but then you still see these same things rearing its head in today's time. It's not just that it was back in the day when you didn't know no better. Now you know better, but it's not, you just not doing better. And it's that it's a part of your actual personality. And so these niggas is leaving and going away from their parents as adults because of these things rearing his head over and over and over again, even in current day. You understand what I'm saying? And but yeah, so we're gonna hop on that too long. But let me see, we got another comment here. Said Unc say, oh, did you want to say something about the deadbeat dad thing? What did you think? When does where's the line between deadbeat and like a decent dad? Where do you find, if he's matter of fact, the question is, if he paid child support for 18 years, is he still a deadbeat?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. See, because the reason I don't think so, because that would be saying that I think I'm a deadbeat, because pretty much that's what I did. You know, I was there, I put money in, You know what I'm saying? When your mom called, situation come up, whatever. I don't care if she had somebody she was dealing with or whatever. I just went and shot because my kids is there. You know what I'm saying? So I just went and shot the bread, knowing that nigga or whoever it was gonna eat too. But it wasn't about them. It was about my kids. Because if you dealing with a woman and somebody and y'all hungry and you dealing with whoever the person is you dealing with, if y'all eating and they there, they gonna eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They gonna eat. It's just you know what I mean? Anybody that say that they ain't is telling a lie. They gonna eat. So, in that situation, I think that deadbeat, no. If you come and you make sure, because without those contributions that you are making, if things is bad then to where she had to call you and ask you for this or that or whatever the case was, if you didn't bring it, then what? What was y'all gonna eat then?
Yeah, honestly, in my opinion, and this is I've thought about this whole like the child support, because you said this thing where like, and then even my mom said that she couldn't remember a time where, you didn't show up when she needed you. I think that it's different. Honestly, that's better than deadbeat, but I also think that like
I don't think we need to be praised.
Yeah, but I mean, there should also be a thing where it's like, okay, well, if I have your children, consistent contribution should be an understanding that is necessary to where I don't have to call you when we about to have nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand that too, but
yeah, but it's still not.
I was still a child.
Yeah,
so I was still,
but it's still like.
I said I don't think I deserve to be praised. I don't want no award.
Yeah.
I don't want no award. But what I'm saying is that I still did, even though I was a child trying to figure it out, or I ain't gonna figure it out, or whatever the case may be.
A level of responsibility to it.
I still had some type of something for y'all enough to where in if she said y'all needed something, I did my best to make sure y'all had it.
Yeah, no, and hey,
I didn't give you my time.
Yeah,
but I damn sure gave my bread.
Yeah. But that crazy, man, because that time be much more.
And I understand that, but then I did.
I got you. I mean, we already know we got past that, so like it ain't nothing that I'm harping on you about now. I'm just saying it because it's just the truth. Let's see. Unc said, working early, I had nothing to do with it. Sometimes these women back in the day would just be with older dudes because they could pay. Like I said, they was young. They was young hoes. What Unc said. And he said, your daddy leaves you when he dies. What you learn from them while you're still alive. Okay, your daddy leaves you when he dies. What you learn from him when he's still alive. What you learn from him will take you to where you need to be, and after that, it's up to you to succeed or not. Yeah, I mean,
that was my situation.
See, this is the thing too. Like, one thing that I will say is that, like, I'm glad that I forgave a lot of the stuff from back in the day, because if it wasn't for our relationship, I wouldn't know the importance of like credit, buying a home. You know what I mean? Like utilizing equity. Like I may be stretching a little bit, but like credit was the foundation of the thing. And even though I fucked mine up as soon as I turned 18, it was still that mindset that like this is the thing that's going to get you, you know what I mean, to the next place. And that was something that you instilled in me early. So like I think that, and this is something that I really want to do, and the reason why I give my daughter, like, I'll come and peel off and give her a couple of dollars, let her put it in the piggy bank. We got to go and open up that the account. I kept UTMA UGMA account. And okay, so UTMA UGMA account is an account that you can open up with your bank that allows you to put money in an account and to save it for your child until they get to a certain age. Each state has a different age, but most of the states is 18. So you can actually put money in an account, you know what I mean, with their name on it. And then once they turn 18, they bring their ID into the bank, and then they can be relinquished those funds. So it's just another way to look at like the POD scenario. It's separate from your account, which you can have them as beneficiary, which is POD, payable on death. You can have them on your account as POD, but then that UTMA, UGMA account is like, let's say y'all not together, you not with the mom, and you know what I mean? It's still an account you can continuously put money into that she can't do nothing with. You know what I mean? She can't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
Even if you pass away and she gets her name on the account, she still can't do nothing with it. because it's the money is assigned to them. So that's UTMA, UGMA account, and that's something you can do the same thing with stock, your portfolio as well. Let's see.
Who was SW?
I'm not sure.
I feel that.
But he was never around. SW said,
I feel that
a deadbeat is someone that is never around for his child. My dad paid child support, but he was never around emotionally or physically. So when he died, I didn't cry. And I mean,
okay,
I understand. I understand that sentiment, because at the end of the day, the relationship is the important thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can peel off and see, this be the thing, is like a lot of time to the what you'll hear with
that's why I don't have a relationship with Jasmine.
Who?
Jasmine.
What do you mean?
We don't have, she don't call me, and she don't come spend time with me. And so to me,
no. So you just made that statement very much more strongly than it should have been made. Y'all don't have the relationship you would like to have with her, because of the fact that y'all didn't have a relationship.
Yeah. I said that wrong.
Yeah. That you would like to have, because y'all have a relationship.
Because I know my baby love me.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all have a relationship. It's just not.
It's just not
what you would.
I just be jealous of her and her mom's relationship. That's where that come from. I feel like that. I want some of that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that love that mom dudes get.
Yeah. They so tight. I be like, you can call me every now and again or something. You know what I mean? Now she will call me, and it's usually because you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, she need to hold something.
She need to hold something.
Or need not even hold something. She needs some help with something.
Yeah, she needs some help.
And the thing is that what you'll see oftentimes is that what I see often, that father-daughter relationship, once they get to a certain age, unless you're like literally, see, the thing is that parents need to understand that they also have actually the relationship that you want to have is up to you. As a parent, you can't expect children to seek this. I was seeking it when I was younger. That's what I wanted when I was younger. Now it wasn't there, so now it's not that big. It's big a deal,
and that's why I don't harp on it. Because I know that just from our relationship getting to the point that this thing got to, I know that it's my fault that we don't have a closeness like similar to what her and her mom have. Because when she was younger, I could have came and got her and built that relationship. Or even and with your mom, the way she was, she didn't have a problem with me coming there and just spending time with y'all.
Yeah, nigga, you was on another type of time.
I know I was.
I know what you was on.
Yeah, okay, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, nigga. Let me see. Unc in the chat. Appreciate. Shout out to the chat, man. We appreciate y'all locking in with us. It says you can't sit and make your life on bees, but you can make your life off of bees. I don't know, Unc. Bees is what goes on around us every day, and we sit and accept it accordingly to our personality. Unc, stop cursing so I can know what you talking about. I ain't understand. I ain't following you too good. Says your father is sitting there in front of you and telling you that he loves you, and he feels sorry for the moments that he did not do anything that he thought was wrong in that moment. Let it go. Look, it's not something that I'm like harboring the old emotions. See, the thing is, if I were harboring these things, then we wouldn't have a relationship today. I've already forgiven most of those things. The thing that we had the other day was something that, like I was telling, it's like if you start to have, let's say, you and your dad, whatever it was, y'all had a rift within a relationship when you were younger because of a specific type of personality trait. When you see that personality trait when you're older, after you've forgiven it, it still is going to make you feel away. So that's what is. I've already forgiven. It's about let it go. It's gone. Then we got Uncle again. He say, tell your pop we need to hang out, throw a couple back, and understand that the world hates us, but we love it. But we love each other. But we love each other as being black men instead of niggas. We gonna get to the nigga conversation. And SW, that's saying what up, cuz appreciate you looking out, checking us out.
I ain't know that. Okay, baby.
Then Unc said, do you have a daughter and son? because you always talk about doing things for your daughter, yet never talk about what you do for your son. I know better, but I was just asking, just saying what you saying. Oh, that was actually a big one there. So yes, I have a daughter and a son. My son's a lot younger, and my son is fuck it. I was going. My son's autistic, right? So he was just recently diagnosed with autism, and so our relationship's a little bit different. And it took a little bit longer for me to cultivate the relationship with him in the way that so I always say this, that like people should have kids. I think kids are like the biggest, man, when I take, especially as a man. So like as a man, I can't speak as a woman, but as a man, I know that as far as unconditional love, my daughter is the first time I seen and felt unconditional love. Like somebody that you can tell them no and they'll give you a hug right after. You know what I mean? And just want to hug you randomly because I love you. She said she hugged me earlier today, and I asked her, no, what made you want to hug me? She said, it's just because I love you. You know what I mean? And so this is something that me and my son now we're getting to a point to where now he's doing these things. It took a little bit longer because I didn't notice that. First off, I kind of thought that he was possibly autistic. We both kind of knew it, but with the diagnosis, it just changed. And I'm actually, as a matter of fact, I'm actually going to save that conversation for a different episode because I want to kind of unpack that whole thing in its entirety, because it was a very important moment in my life that kind of, you know what I mean? This is going to be a new learning experience that I didn't know that I was going to be embarking on. And so that is something that is very important to me. And so like my son, though, I don't know, I can't speak for most autistic or autistic kids in general, because I don't really know a bunch of autistic kids or parents of autistic kids. But what I will say is that it took a lot longer for that attachment piece, and that what I'll say is like this, the damn, what is the word? Either way, I can't think of the word right now. But the showing of love, like fuck, for him to show love in the way that I'm used to seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so me being honest, that kind of made things a little different for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, we'll talk about that in another episode.
And while we're talking about that, I just wanted to say this. He used to greet me a certain way
Mm-hmm.
because, I was spending more time over there, and I missed it. And I noticed that. And I don't want to do to my grandkids what I did to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would like to come. I'm gonna tell you, I'm just gonna be perfectly honest. It is what it is.
As long as you don't say nothing about my wife, it's all right.
Okay, well, I don't know. Because the reason I don't, like, when I want to come over there, I don't come sometime, is because I don't be wanting to her to feel like that I'm just,
No, you don't.
like
You don't want
over
to
there
not feel
too
welcome.
much. I don't want to not feel welcome. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And because I know how she is, so I don't want to not feel welcome. And so I kind of like, and because I'm the kind of person, you know how I am.
You like to pop up.
I just like, if I want to come see my,
because
y'all my
funny.
family.
Yeah.
And if I'm riding, just like I came the other day after work, and you said, hey, he didn't tell me, he just came to the door, da 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 da. I'm another thing. I'm country, and I'm old school, and family. You didn't have to get invited. You could just come to family, especially when it's like your circle. You just come to my grandma. My grandma lived in Mississippi. I could get in my car, drive to Mississippi, and just pop up.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to eat, you ate.
Yeah,
you need you're gonna be here tonight. You spending the night.
Fuck with y'all,
you know
like
what I'm saying?
Like that,
yeah,
no
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I come from. So when I come into a space and then I don't get that kind of feeling, I understand it's a different time, but I ain't harboring no, you know what I mean? It will hurt my feelings sometimes if I come to the door and then I come in, or it's like it's like you let me in,
But
but
you could tell
you,
that mother don't want you there.
yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing.
And
Is
so
that,
that's
the
why,
thing,
you
man,
know,
we don't live in that time period no more. So like y'all older folk need to get over that shit.
Hey.
Like popping up at people's house, and then even
it
just
ain't
older
people's
folk.
house.
It
Y'all
ain't even
my
just
family.
older folk, because you can't just pop up at Auntie house like that. Auntie don't play that shit.
I can
You can't just
understand that.
pop
That's
up.
my sister.
No. I'm talking about I can't
Okay,
pop
I
up
ain't got
at her
nothing to do
house.
with you.
Can't nobody pop up at her house.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Tia, maybe. But they don't play that because they don't live like that. Like just because I am at home don't mean I want motherfucker in my face. It just don't mean that. And so I don't
This 1124 right here. This 1124 right here. Any time that my family want to pop up, they can. You might have to stand outside the door for a second, let me get myself together or whatever.
Yeah, no,
but
I ain't trying to do all that.
You good.
I really ain't. Man,
even like
you and your wife having personal time, motherfucker want to come to the house. How you popping up? You in the fucking way. You better get on, take your ass.
But see,
not
on a situation like that, I tell you, that's family.
You know what you mean? A situation like that, how you know what's going on? You don't know what's going on.
No, I'm saying
just at home.
I'm saying if you at home in a situation, if I'm at home, not you, if I'm at home and me and my wife is doing some shit and you pop up, then I'm gonna say, hey, bro, you know, this bad time, you know, got a little business going on.
Yeah, right, but see, the thing is that we want to naturally be like, we're not gonna just tell you, oh no, you need to leave. That's where you gonna feel that, damn, I let this nigga in. I really don't really feel like.
Oh, and then now it ain't even like it was back in the day. I can just call you on the phone while you at the door. I ain't even got to stop. I can just pause, call your ass and say, hey, bro, that ain't a good time. I'm in the bed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It just, and you know, I don't know if you knew it, but yeah, that's, you know, I don't want to feel unwelcome because then I'll just talk it.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. I guess I was talking about the autistic part. He said, "F what anybody else has to say about your child. You got to walk with that. You got to walk that walk with him, and you have to talk the talk with him. I will put you with one of my friends that pomegranate thing 1000. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so one thing I will say is this: the autism thing. Like, first off, that's my guy, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
My son, that's my guy.
Oh yeah, I know.
And so the thing was, in real life, it's a known thing, but at the same time, I just don't talk about him as much because you know what I mean, converse. We don't have a conversation, so it's not as like, you know what I mean. It's different. It's just different.
He said something to me today.
Oh, he'll say a word every now and then if he feel like it. He'll talk when he feel like it, and we're gonna give him all of the resources. I'm still learning. I'm gonna talk more about the autism thing, and because this walk is something that it's very much more normal now. Like having a kid that's autistic, there's like
this used to be a stigmatism.
Oh, it used to because it was so much more rare. Now, having a boy that's autistic, this is very normal. Like I was talking to the lady, and matter of fact, no, I'm not going all the way into that, but I'll tell you that they find it more in boys more than girls. And I asked the lady that gave them the diagnosis, and she gave the fucking greatest smarter answer. She says because they're much more easy to diagnose because of how mobile they are. Sounds like some bullshit to me, but I'm gonna do more research and find out some more information. Yeah, Sam said I love to pop up. She said with the older relatives, she loved them Jones. Yeah. Then Aunt say love what you love me, who you be. Love is at the end of the situation. After you know. Take your time on these Jones, please, sir. Take your time, sir. Love you to death. Oh, we ain't even got on to nothing that we supposed to be talking about. We already an hour in. Okay, so this was up. We're gonna switch it up a little bit. So, in my opinion, right, and this is something that you probably know about. You probably lived this scenario head on.
Oh Lord.
Being ugly. Being ugly. Fuck around and can work to your, you know what I mean? It can be beneficial to you, right? See, in my mind, I'm thinking like, once you accept the fact that you're not so attractive, then you start to hone in. Tell about it, old head. You learn. That's why you know how to, you know what I mean, do all the shit you know how to do. Goddamn, when you facially challenged, you fucked around and had to learn some other skills. You need additional skills.
See,
And it's okay. You'll be if you embrace it, those additional skills can take you further than looks can. Agree or disagree?
So
Hold on, do you agree or disagree?
So, I will agree.
Oh, exactly.
I would agree
From lived experience.
But see, that's the part I'm having a problem with right there. Because I ain't never been called ugly. I've been called pie face.
Pie face.
Pie face.
We don't know what
but
that means.
I ain't never, because my face, she said my face was flat.
Mm.
Her brother beat me up one time.
Okay.
I think it was about.
I'm glad he whooped your ass.
How old was we? About, I don't know. About
it was a
14,
good ass whooping.
About 4, no, he just hit me one time in the eye. I just turned around. He just said something, and I
Black
turned around.
shit.
He said, "Bah!" right in my eye. My
Got
eye
you
went,
right together. All that talking you be
yeah.
doing.
No, it wasn't that.
Healthy.
And no, it wasn't
It's a
that.
healthy ass
We liked the girl he liked. The girl her brother liked liked me.
Oh, okay. He was hating.
So but I knew her brothers. I chilled with her brothers, but she would be kind of friendly with me while I'm chilling with her brothers or whatever. They live right down the next block from us. And so he found out about it. He was a big dude too. He always been big. But anyway,
shit, didn't it?
I was walking through the cut right there at Central Avenue where my mama used to stay in the house on Thomas Avenue.
Yeah.
You could cut through right there. Walking through there one day, I saw him. He didn't say nothing. So walked up. You know, he was coming through. That's cut. So everybody come through there. So we was coming through there, and I was walking through there, whatever. And then he said something about her, and then bow, hit me in the eye.
It was healthy.
It was rap.
You stopped.
But anyway, his sister, I wasn't messing with her.
Oh, she just liked you.
Yeah, she liked me. I wasn't messing with her.
I done had niggas hating back in the day, and then some hate shit didn't happen.
I wasn't messing with her. She liked me.
Nigga
But then again, though, it still was her fault though, because she said she wasn't dating him.
Weird though. It's just
but you know what I mean? It's cool. But
it was healthy.
But anyway, that was the only time I was called pie face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah, she said my face was flat, and she called me pie face.
Well, I know. Let me see your head. Oh, you cut your head. That's good for you. I'm glad for you. I appreciate you doing that. We ain't want all that shit.
I wanted to go to the barber, but we couldn't because of Jasmine's birthday.
Oh yeah, shout out to my sister too. Shout out to Jasmine, bro. Her birthday. Her birthday was on the 13th. We celebrated her today. Went to motherfucking what was it called? Boardwalk Billy. The thing is that this is a place that before you take your family, you need to know. You know what I mean? Cause you talking about 4 plates. You know what I mean? 4 plates, it ain't nothing to spend $100. And I ain't gonna say 100, man, fuck that. I don't just want a random $100. You know what I mean? And also,
but I thought we covered
what?
Beverly covered the kids or something.
Oh, I think I was just talking, but I think that she did get Nana. She got Nana food.
I thought she said the kids.
No, she got Nana food. No, but we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
But anyway,
but anyway, we're going back to the understanding, because like to me, I think that it's better to not, because you're unattractive, what you'll do is you'll put a whole bunch of shit on your face and try to make yourself look different to be attractive, versus the best thing you can do is actually be, because I'm telling you, the best thing you can be is just be a
so you
a
have
better
an experience.
person.
So you speaking from experience?
Yeah, hey, let's say experience. Let's say experience. So that's why I had to get to a check. That's why I had to get to a check.
So I'm just trying to point out the fact that you said that about me because you was feeling some type of way about the way
I was projecting.
Yeah, projecting, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I think that, like, it's better, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, it's better to acknowledge, or like being like overweight. No, it's no need for you to like act like you're not big. Anytime you find something that you have a lack in, you start to build something else. You know what I mean? Or if you can build that, build it. No. It's not even to deflect. It's to build. It's to still prove value. Like you, because just because you're unattractive don't mean that somebody, if you can bring a nigga a piece, a nigga gonna choose you. If you can bring a nigga a piece, a nigga will stay with you. What I'm saying, but a nigga ain't gonna find out. A decent dude ain't gonna find out if you're making your face up.
Yeah.
Cause niggas ain't really attracted to all that makeup shit and all the extra shit that be going on.
Not niggas that's about some shit.
Yeah, niggas. I'm telling you, like in reality, niggas that really want to do something is not trying to have this makeup faced. You know what I mean? Like nobody, he's not looking for that. Like he's literally just looking for peace. We're all just looking for peace. Yeah. That you can maybe being pretty is a plus, but niggas ain't really on that pretty shit as much as we was. Nigga might like a picture on Instagram and you can see she got 10,000 likes on Instagram, but in reality, that's all just sex based. Niggas liking pictures of chicks twerking and all that shit on social media. That's just because it looks good, but not my old lady. It's just something I like to watch. Or maybe I drop.
It's like watching porn.
It's yeah. So
you ain't trying to sleep with them heifers.
No, you asleep with them, but you ain't trying to wife them.
Yeah, but the women that you see on porn, I wouldn't want them.
Oh no,
you done been drilled 100 times.
Yeah,
cool. You ain't no more oil in there. Niggas got all the oil out of that. No,
all the oil out of it.
All the oil. All the oil. Ain't no more oil in there.
Then I think that,
and if it is, I don't want that. You just think about it,
That's crazy niggas in basketball players.
You ain't got no elasticity left.
Hey, I would assume they be doing something though. I'm pretty sure they got some kind of drug.
Like I say, for me,
yeah, I'm cool.
The porn, I don't want nobody on the porn. You've been taking. No, I couldn't. I don't even want to sleep with you. I watched you though.
The thing is that they have the illusion of options. That's the problem. Well, and I think that we have to and we won't talk about this another episode too, because I think that as men, if we don't shift what we're doing and making them think, then
exactly
our culture will continue to be
fucked up. It's on the slide now.
It's damn sure going down.
It's on the slide.
It's damn sure going down. So like a nigga watch an ass shaking video on Instagram and like it, and she got a whole bunch of dudes that like it. That don't mean niggas want to actually be with a woman like this. It's just entertaining.
It's entertainment.
And it's drop. Maybe if you could drop, you would drop.
Maybe one of them or something like that. But
maybe
most of the time, you start thinking about the bodies, and it just ain't attractive no more.
It just really ain't. I mean, in reality, it's just not. But we are misleading them to think that that's what we actually like. Women out there risking their life for getting surgeries and all kinds of shit. And like the thing is like, niggas just want peace. Like the ass and all that. Like most of the dudes I know, old ladies that's married, niggas, old ladies do not look like that. And none of the ones that look like that are married, damn near.
And don't nobody want another nigga drooling over his woman's ass.
Yeah, no.
So cover that motherfucker up.
100%.
Cover that motherfucker up. If you want a decent dude, like I was, a mailman was having something going on next door, whatever. I was seeing them women that was over there. They had damn skirts and shit on. They was at their fucking ankles and shit.
Them sundresses.
You know what I mean?
And stuff like that. I don't know why we think that.
Yeah. But I ain't seen nobody over there with their ass out.
Well, first off, those are respectable people. So you
I
ain't
understand that, but that's what I'm saying. You already know, Yeah. Yeah. And then nobody, I ain't seen not one pair of goddamn Jordans over there.
Oh yeah,
man, I ain't seen one pair of Jordans over there.
We gonna have that. I think black folk, we appropriate white culture as it relates to the shoes that we wear. We're gonna talk about that another time.
I'll take the appropriation of the shoes over Jordans any day.
Hey,
I don't want to get cause
my thing is hey, well, if we can't be calling another motherfucker out and then start doing what they doing and not being held accountable. If you wear, bro, I had to wear Asics in basic training.
Yeah,
they made us buy Asics, and niggas was wearing Asics. And then nigga told me, "Oh yeah, what about foot health?" Man,
foot health.
Let's go ahead. Let's go. I want you to see this. We're gonna talk about. They say they've been having a lot of conversations about dudes that's dating women with kids being simps.
Oh,
look, let these dudes talk about it. We're gonna share so that they can see it. I want to get your opinion. And I know this is gonna be interesting.
Stepdads are men that women wouldn't want if they didn't have kids.
For sure, they're settling.
It's like, because they're trying to get a man to replace what they don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Their baby daddy leave. They're like, damn, like I'll be lucky to get whatever I can get. Let me go back to this one. He wanted me. Let me go back to that one. He wanted me.
I know he's a good guy.
And I know he's a good guy.
Yep.
I done had 2 kids with this bum who not taking care of him. So let me see if he want me again. And you know, there's a lot of men that fall for that. And that's the thing. Why would you want to take care of another man's child?
I agree.
Like that's what you're selling for as a man.
Woo!
I mean,
they'll call you pick me on this.
I don't care. Stepdads are men that women wouldn't want if they didn't have kids.
For sure, they're settling.
It's because they're trying to get a man.
Are men that women wouldn't want if they didn't have kids. That's what she said.
That's what she said. That's what her argument was.
She said stepdads are men that women wouldn't want
if they didn't
have kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think personally, on the serious note, for a minute.
Mm-hmm. For a minute.
For a minute.
We serious. Go ahead.
Okay. I think personally, if a man care about you and you have kids, number one, if he ain't a Tyrone, because Tyrone ain't coming in to take care of nobody else's kids. He ain't even coming in to take care of your ass.
Hey, Tyrone coming to get some help.
Skin and get some help.
Yeah, go ahead.
He want to bang, 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 and then he wants some help.
Yeah.
Now it's Tyrone. But she said men. So I don't classify Tyrone as men. So men, when a man comes into a relationship like that, the woman have to have certain type, if he's a man, we're going with man. So
no,
a woman has
go ahead. However you want to talk about
a woman has to have certain qualities that you can see whether nobody else can see it or not, because that's just between you and her. Because I can see a woman and I think she's cute, and you say she ain't cute. What the hell are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It ain't about you. It's about what I see.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can see certain characteristics in her, sometimes you can grow up in a situation and act according to the situation you grew up in. And then you can get into a better situation, and then you can put that shit behind you. It don't happen overnight. But the person that you're dealing with can see that. And in that, if he's a man and he cared enough to stay in the picture after he see those things about you or whatnot, then he's willing to take on the responsibility of the other kids, because he know that it's a package deal. When I was coming up, my dad, the guys, whatever, it was just as hard then as it is now to find a woman that don't have no kids if she a certain age. If she a certain age and don't have no kids, she's a unicorn. So men in my day didn't shy away from women because they had kids. And I think it make you more of a man, especially if you're doing right by them other kids.
See, I think the thing that you're, and I'm not debating anything that you're saying, right? So she was telling you from the woman's perspective. She didn't say what the man's perspective was. Because at the end of the day, I think that it is, which at my age, I believe that if a person doesn't have kids at this age, if it's not something, well, even if it is, which of course some people have problems, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean. A shouts to the people who have struggled getting pregnant, and you know what I mean. We still love y'all, and there's no shot at y'all. But what I'm saying is that, like, as a person, if you hear somebody that say like I don't want kids or something like that at my age, to me that's a red flag. Yeah, because like that's the people always want to throw around the narcissist word. But I think that that's literally like you want to be the most important person in your life for your life, for the entirety of your life. Yeah. That is some crazy shit. Yeah. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? You talking about mid-30s and above, motherfucker ain't got no kids. I ain't talking about like too many S's on kids.
Yeah.
You start, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You slinging draws at the, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But you know,
Yeah.
1, 2,
Yeah.
you probably about capped off at 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for you not to have kids and not want kids, or like really not to have kids in mid 30s and 40s, come on, bro. It's like, come on. You've been the center of your life for way too long.
You know,
in my opinion.
You in danger zone once you get in your 30s anyway.
Yeah, I think it's what 30, mid 30s. I think it's like 36.
Yeah. So you in danger zone. So if you 30 years old and you ain't got one, at least one.
The kids, they teach you so much, bro. Kids teach you so much. So for you not to have gotten this piece of knowledge that I think is if you actually step into parenting and parent, that
That's
knowledge that you'll gain has it spills over into relationships too. You learn so much that it spills over. Selflessness is a learned behavior.
Exactly.
Leadership is a learned behavior. So you can't just like you having a child and you're actually being intentional about the raising and the nourishing and the, you know what I mean? Then it's like, damn, okay, you really have seen love in its purest form. And so in order to actually give it, you have to see it. So if you done came from a fucking single mother household, ain't got no motherfucking kids, and you have no fucking idea, and you've been about yourself for 35 years. Well, let's just say for the last 15, you've been about yourself.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to have somebody else that they're partners, and you don't know nothing about no partnership. How you know something about some partners?
Hey,
you can't be selfless enough. I think that's a red flag. Niggas be talking about the women with no kids. That sound good. And I was actually, if you go back to like season maybe 2 of the To Be Fair show, I was like, yeah, nah, the no kids is that's the Jones. Man, nigga, in reality, which I'm married and I'm not looking, but I'm just saying, in reality, if you ain't got no kids, that's a red motherfucking flag. And I think it should be for a male or female on both sides of it. I think it should be a red flag.
Yeah, and I think people are too hard on the children as far as like, like you meet somebody and their children do things that you deem or feel that should not be in their character at any age, really, but at their age that they shouldn't be doing certain things or whatnot. I feel like, and I have some insight on it, personal experience from back in the day or whatever, that if you come into a relationship with a woman, if her kids, I ain't talking about little Ray and all of them. I ain't talking about them kind of Junior. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about, they veering off, you know what I mean? Don't really, do a lot of craziness, but you can see that they headed that direction. If you come into their life, their mother's life, their life, and you stand on business, but the child can still feel that you care about them and that's how you connect with the child. You have to get that child to see that you actually care about them. They're not going to believe you. Not in the beginning, they're not going to believe you. But if you stand on business, if you gonna be the captain of the ship and everybody got to get in line, if you stand on business, they'll fall in line. They'll fall in line. They won't be disrespectful to you. They won't.
No.
Hey,
it sounds good because, but at the same time, you talking about from your experience, I can talk about from my experience too. The kids,
you got something that can't be reached.
Well, I mean, but I'm talking about myself, and you know what I mean. I'm talking about my lived experience. That sound good. You know what I mean? You come into that house, you know what I mean? If them kids is at a certain age, you can get used for sure. You can get used. You can spend some money if you want to. They'll take all of that shit and smile and grin in your face. They don't give a damn. You still don't hold no weight in that motherfucker. Tell you that now. And if you ain't spending no money, you damn sure don't hold no weight in that motherfucker. I disagree. Let's see what Unc said. Unc said, a stepdad is just a man that women put in place that think is good enough for their children to be raised by a man that the child will never respect fully. I agree. And then he said, Then he said she was 100% correct on that and didn't have to say anything else. So the thing is that we're still arguing on the male side. What she was talking about is from the female's perspective. She's speaking and saying that your ass is getting chosen because the shit over there didn't work out. So you good enough to help me with what I got going on, but I wouldn't have chose you if I didn't have this going on.
That's fucked up.
Hey, we be getting that shaft into this thing. And so I think that on both sides, when dudes are saying that they ain't with it, bro, if you ain't with it, don't sign up for it. You know what I mean? If you ain't with it, don't sign up for it. I think that there are some women that definitely grow into better partners. You know what I mean? I think that, you know what I mean, if you have kids young, you probably can grow. You can grow into a better partner later in age. And hey, if that's what you want, then but it becomes difficult because a lot of the time, man, them kids, another reason why them kids don't respect you, bro, is because they done seen too many niggas already, bro. You say I'm number 17, bro. Fuck you. You only gonna be here for about you know what I mean? How long you finna be here? Fuck, I'm finna sit here and get cool with you for you to be getting the fuck out in another, you know what I mean?
I'm just one of them people, you know. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I like to be proven wrong. You know what I mean? I like to be proven wrong. And I can tell you, I really believe that there's some children out here that women are raising.
Don't Johnny me. There are some children out here that, but we talk about.
But I'm thinking about, well.
Don't Johnny me. Of course, all people aren't bad. Motherfucking niggas, there's people out here that eat people and shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, you know what I mean, this doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And I'm also like, I know some women who have some good kids. Well, no, I ain't gonna say I don't know their kids. But I know some women who seem like good people, and it seemed like their kids would have good sense, and you know what I mean, would be a candidate for one of the homies to put on. You know what I mean? She seemed like she doing all right, but hey, I didn't tell you, boy, it be rough. It be rough. Niggas be getting put out. The women, you know, the women with them kids, they be man, you be number 17. They done put all of them niggas out. Yeah. All of them niggas moved in.
Yeah. You got this when your first week, the first month coming and spending the night, goddamn, you got to have your shit with you and already chambered, goddamn. You ain't got to get that. You don't get the motherfucker start doing this. You got to have that motherfucker already chambered. So when you grab it, it's in shoot mode. You know what I mean?
No, big fat. Say Tyrone is completely different than Jerome. Jerome might think one thing, Tyrone might think another thing. Jerome might think one thing, Tyrone might think another thing. At the end of the day, do what you feel is the best way to have to get that woman. I'll say, bro, it's funny that we have these conversations on the internet. Real quick, I'm gonna let this real quick. It's funny we have these conversations on the internet. I find relationship conversations entertaining. I find them very entertaining. Other people, y'all need to stop talking about relationships. My thing, we already know that everybody's situation is different.
Yeah.
Everybody's situation different. You know what I mean? Do what works for you. If you traditional, get a traditional. Don't try to get a modern woman because the traditional and modern not gonna mix up. Y'all gonna want different things. Go ahead.
I also think it matters whether she got boys or girls. If she got a mix, then, you know, it's going to be some turmoil somewhere anyway. Because that boy is the problem. That boy is the problem. That girl just want to that girl just want to feel love. That boy, he don't give a fuck about this.
He the man of the house.
He the man of the house.
He been the man of the house.
He don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he'll get hot.
If you got girls,
he'll get hot.
Girls just want to be loved.
Well, I mean,
they
at
just
the same
want to
time,
be loved.
What I will say too is that also girls use men as women have.
They
always
learn that shit from day one.
Yeah, so I'm just saying. So
But
you can. That was the point that I was making.
That's why I say stand on business too. If you stand on business,
yeah,
they'll respect it because all you got to do is show them love.
But my thing
when
is,
you show them love and you stand on business, they accept it as business.
Yeah, I mean, even when in my show, in my understanding, I ain't seen is there not too many women that's gonna let you come in the house and actually run shit? No, they gonna tell you don't be talking to my kids about
them
coming
unicorns
to me
too that'll let you come in there.
You kind of just reaching, you grabbing for straws like a motherfucker. Like a motherfucker. Uncle Ged say, I'd rather be with a woman that don't have kids and has a past than a woman that has multiple kids with multiple baby daddies. At least I know the hole from the beginning. Oh, the hose is the hole from the beginning. The thing about it, you can't be saying that shit at y'all age, bro. If you at old head age talking about a woman with no kids, you motherfucking crazy, bro. Love you to death, but that don't make no damn sense. She gonna be half your goddamn
age. I mean, no, cause hell no, she's still 30 then.
At the end of the day, bro, a woman that you talk 50 with no kids, bro, that don't make this motherfucker definitely crazy. 50 years with no kids? Oh hell no, Uncle, I ain't going. If I was I ain't going, Uncle. I love you, but I ain't going. Then he said, I had my appointment only time when I was 36. Whose business is it? Rochester somewhat. I don't know where you're going, Oh, he said, I was going to get us a vasectomy. Oh, that was a conversation that recently came up too. We was talking about, that for a woman to get her tubes tied, especially if she's
they don't want you to get a vasectomy.
Who don't?
The government, period.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they don't want you to get a vasectomy.
Why are you saying that?
Because the population is going down. That's why they're fighting so hard with this abortion shit too. That's the underlying thing. Because population is going down. We're not like China. China's overpopulated. They just don't have enough. They got too many men. I mean, too many women and not enough men.
I wonder. You know something that's crazy? I wonder why. Because obviously, this is not it's not a Western thing that like there are so many more women than men. Like this is like just the way that we're created. There are just more women than men.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder, like by God's design, it's got to be. This is the design that put in place for it to be this way. And hey, I'm not saying that polygamy is the answer, but I'm just saying that we don't know. I mean, we'll never know.
But if you just do the numbers, if it ain't polygamy involved, there's a whole lot of people that ain't gonna be fucking.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even so you talking about the sexual part. It's a whole lot of women that will just be with themselves. That would never be married. That would never
have children.
Have to settle down.
Never have children.
Yeah, and if it was,
but see, that's what I'm saying. See, you just want to go. Everything I say ain't about sex,
nigga. That's what you just said. You literally just said.
But it was.
You literally just.
It was a fact, though. It wasn't like. You know what I mean? Sometimes I be on the shit, but that was just a fact.
What I'm saying is that you said sex and you try to make it seem either way. Fuck it.
No,
make
nigga,
your point. Make your point. Make your point.
No.
Make your point.
I don't like your motherfucking ass. No way. Yeah, you know what I mean? Really the way you talk shit to me this weekend, I don't like you. No damn.
I be telling niggas the truth, bro.
Yeah. Get your boy.
Yeah, this was fun, man. This was fun. We're gonna wrap it up. We appreciate you in the chat. We appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody for tapping in. We missed last Saturday, but we had to take a break. It was Mother's Day weekend, and you know what I mean, a lot of that going on. So we definitely had to show our love to the mothers. And
hold up, do you believe? I
already know what you're finna ask me. Go ahead.
Yeah, that you should get anybody a Mother's Day present other than your mother, your wife.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying that should it be okay for a man not to get his wife something and just get his mom something to celebrate Mother's Day because that's his mom.
Because that's your mother.
Yeah. I'd say at the end of the day, you can
if
try.
You want to keep peace in your house, just tell the truth.
You can fucking try.
If you want to keep peace in your goddamn house,
you can try.
You can tell that shit if you want to.
Wait, I think that if you know what I mean, you can try. wear whatever come with it. You hear me? And if you gonna stand, my nigga, I understand what you saying makes sense.
You understand both sides.
Yeah, I hear me on paper. Is it worth it though?
Yeah, I
You know
know.
what I mean? Some shit. Hey, pay that goddamn $100. That $100. Fuck it. Fuck that $100. That ain't worth your house being messed up.
Yeah,
100%.
Hey, fuck around, lose 5 pounds over this shit.
What? You fuck around,
You
lose
ain't-
the whole
you-
family.
When the last time you ate?
Yeah. Shit, you fuck around. Go to work hungry, ain't got no lunch pack.
Ain't nothing in
Motherfucker.
that motherfucker.
Clothes
Get ready to pick
ain't
up the lunch
washed.
bag. You know, you pick up something you think is heavy and it's light.
Yeah. I worked at UPS, fucking putting them boxes on that conveyor belt. That small ass box, so you got to pay attention to how much tape on that motherfucker. That was the thing. I learned that quick. You got to pay attention to how much tape on that motherfucking box.
Yeah.
That big box be light than the motherfucker. You might tell you, but that little motherfucker with all that tape on it, yeah, that motherfucker got some weight to it. But yeah, hey, it's been fun. This is Who You Talking To. We'll be here every Saturday at 8:30. We was at 9 today because Olehead was in, you know what I mean, in the bathroom.
You gotta blame it on the old man every time.
Looking at corn. But nah, we appreciate y'all tapping in. We'll be at every motherfucking Saturday at 8:30. We got the To Be Fair show, which is the show with my guys. We're gonna be doing that every Sunday at 4:30. So tap in with us tomorrow. We got Unpack every Wednesday, fire show. Hey, we appreciate it. Hey, Tyrone, stop moving in, get your shit together. Quick, stop putting niggas out. God damn. And then you put a nigga out. Now we want to put you out on the 17th. Or at least like a Sam. Somewhere it's gonna be
it ain't too close to the rent, and it ain't too far away from rent.
Cause you done paid the utilities. They make sure they get all that shit out the way and throw your ass out, motherfucker. Be leaving with the dish detergent.
Yeah.
All right, now y'all be blessed, family. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Yep. Out.
I ain't got to get up no more.
That's fire, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty fire.
Yeah.